or Assassin's Creed 97, well, you're in luck, because I've compiled a list of 50 crazy-ass indie games for you. Don't waste any more of your precious time. Corpus Edax is an action stealth immersive sim in the vein of Dishonored or Deus Ex, one which is based around melee combat with a focus on improvised weapons and kicking the fucking soul out of people. But there's also cool branching dialogue, because at all. The dev has shown off a fraction of combat and exploration, and I'm into it, keeping it mysterious. Gloomwood. There's Gloom. Don't know what the hell. We Kill Monsters is a project I've been following for a bit now, and while I don't know what the hell you actually do besides walk around stunning environments and rack focus at strange creatures, I'm really compelled to find out. I can only assume the title says it all. The dev has shown off a I gotta pimp my shit out here at least a little bit. You can surmount Gloomwood's obstacles and traverse its expertly designed levels in a multitude of ways, whether it be stabbing, sleuthing, shooting, screaming, crying, running, peeing. I am scared of this game. Here's a question for you. Have you ever wanted to be an isopod? If for some strange reason your answer was yes, Riley Neville is making the game for you. Transmutate into the isopod body of your dreams and bounce, roll, and your way through the world to achieve whatever an isopod strives to achieve. Smacking its body against wind chimes, perhaps. Here's a look at heretofore unnamed action game by dev Root Pilot from Twitter. It kind of looks like, I don't know, it's got flavors of Vanquish combined with Sunset Overdrive and Max Payne combined with I don't even fucking know what. The movement looks snappy. Putting together VA Proxy, a super compelling third-person action-adventure game about robots and more robots, where a robot deals with a massive cadre of surprising and challenging, you guessed it, robots. The traversal and combat looks cool as hell, but what I'm more excited about is exploring this weird upturn, like Luigi's Mansion, ridiculous world that looks like Jet Set Radio Frogger. When you're done doing the bad, when you're done being a in the much about and trash and meat, lots and lots and lots. Style I could get. See it. There's so much character and intensity packed into every frame of this fighter's movement, and I can't wait to throw down against a recreation of the dev's actual dog. He might not understand. I need not show you more. But I'm going to anyway, because Turbo Overkill is turbo-tastic. Turbo Overkill is the fastest shooter I've ever played. It demands such attentiveness and such acute reflexes that I can only assume its pre-order bonus is going to be a small baggie of crushed up Adderall. The typical FPS sprint button is replaced with a chainsaw slide button that functions as both a speed boost and an attack, if that tells you anything. Move or die. Beton Brutal captures the same feeling as watching those videos of crazy-ass white people climbing buildings they should not be climbing. Go home! Take a nap, you fucking lunatics! This is a wicked difficult, white-knuckle platformer, perfectly suited for people like me who desperately need to overcome their fear of heights but are unwilling to actually go up on anything high because I'm not fucking insane. Haste is a game about moving quickly and praying to fuck that you don't hit anything. It sort of looks like a coked up temple run, but awesome instead of not, which is reductive, but so is every other three-sentence summation I've whipped out so far. I just want to get eyes on these fucking games, man. What we got here is a stylish runner with substance, and without those weird ape things that I really don't like. Photonica is a game that I forgot about until 5 seconds ago while writing that on Twitter. It's experimental. Can't wait to get my hands on all team to create their own Fallout or Elder Scrolls world opuses. Dungeon crawling spookfest with inspiration drawn from games like Shadow Tower and Kingsfield. This is an upcoming title from dev Kira. Story combination of Dave Mirra and Doom that has you ribbon and tearing while you slide and shred. Look at this crazy ass shit. You know you want this. What's two cool things? Samurai. Horror game set in a very bleak cyberpunk dystopian future, which is a description that contains just about every word I need to turn in a fry with a fistful of cash. Now that we're already in the domain of PS1 retro-style horror games, let me introduce you to Labyrinth of the Demon King. This one's a truly unnerving first-person survival horror title inspired by feudal Japan. It's taking everything today is cases. I picked The Last Exterminator has you mowing down hordes of filthy alien cockroaches after they invade your city. Take out all that pent-up rage of living in your shitty cockroach-laden apartment on man-sized equivalents of the ones that run across you while you sleep. Sulaco is a movement-driven shooter where everything explodes into gorgeous retro-style VFX, and it also includes a surprising amount of combat options. Take down your enemies head-on or employ more thoughtful tactics like the reapplication of turrets or explosive barrels. Dread Templar, sends you to the deepest depths of darkness so you can become the scariest thing in hell. Mystical weapons, large levels, and grand boss fights make this one a winner. Phantom Fury is secretly application of turrets or explosive barrels so you can become the scariest thing in hell. Mystical weapons, large levels, and grand boss fights make this one a winner. Phantom Fury is secretly Duke Nukem Forever from that 2001 trailer, says RTO Games. Only if Duke Nukem had a motherfucking rocket arm that makes people explode into a chunky red mist. Stylish first-person cutscenes and gameplay variants like vehicle segments set this one apart from the pack. Hrot is kinda like Soviet Quake, but the ceilings are very low. An oppressive fog of radioactive despair hangs over this title. Arm that makes people explode into a chunky red mist. Stylish first-person cutscenes and gameplay variants like vehicles and oppressive to the world found. Meat Grinder over this title, and a fun layer of interactivity to the world keeps things novel between the bullets. Here's the theme song I wrote for the game inside the game on a little piano I found. Meat Grinder. Might not exactly be a boomer shooter, but it's certainly a shooter where things go boom, so I'm gonna bring it up. Meat Grinder is a game where you're always moving forward, an on-rails FPS in which you're constantly locked into the most high-intensity action set pieces imaginable. It's an entire Dark Messiah boot by attaching it loops back around to being, therefore it automatically deserves in the vein of Silent Hill. Silent Hill 3 in particular. So far today, zombies, but what about water? I think we can all agree. Not. If you're the last of us, Iron Lung to do it. Shotgun Shinzo Action Extremaganza, the Hong Kong Massacre. And that connection isn't like a tenuous one I made myself. The director actually said that shit.
There was a game we saw that was kind of influential. It was called Hong Kong Massacre.
And guess what? Vresky's making a new game, and it's a first-person shooter this time. It's currently untitled, but if you're a fan of Fear or Max Payne, strap the fuck in, because this looks insane. Every single one of them Droneroid. This one's still in that. So if you send a Fin the Kingdom by skating on a thing with a rope, you've kickflipped a 10 stair, but have you ever kickflipped a Colossus? I think not. Speaking of sick-ass kickflips, the developer of Severed Steel is putting together a similar ropey-dopey skatey shooter game called Echo Point Nova, and it also looks bananas. Choose your flavor of skating while popping headshots between these two, either in third person or first person. But don't actually just choose one, buy them both. Beware of this game, cause it will scare you. Beware is an open-world exploration/horror game set in the driver's seat of some kind of car. I'm not a car guy. Your basic goal is to drive from a rural locale to the big city and gather information as you go. But beware, there's someone out there. There's a playable demo from 5 freaking years ago on IndieDB that I'll link in the description if you're intrigued. Big screen at any pumping anime Matrix, a beautifully repulsive shooting chop which gave dogs through a harsh winter wasteland, and before you know it, I think you've gotten us lost. Bending mind super another 20 years, and we've finally got a game that captures the majesty of the greatest stick fights of our era with your only move is. These epic action scenes are the result of a match well fought with intense tactical decision making. It's creative stuff, never seen anything like it. Well, except maybe Tori Bosch. Tori Bosch, like Photonica, is another game I thought about for the first time in 15 you very interested. Unrestricted is the spiritual successor to Undefeated, a small-scale Superman-style game that went viral a couple years back because, I mean, look at it. If fucking Rocksteady is not gonna make a Superman sandbox, at least the folks behind Unrestricted will. And I, for one, can't wait to see how they pull it off. Until we get our legally distinct Man of Steel, though, we can look up and be comforted by an ever-constant sea of stars. I myself am not much of the publisher games, Synth Beasts, and roguelike games. It's Sorceress, a tale where you take control of a versatile magic user and explore the bowels of a castle filled with all kinds of threats. Lots of kicking. I like kicking. I like that there are lots of games with kicking here. And finally, number 50 is none other than the frontrunner for Game of the Year 2023 as we know it, you know it, I know it, it's Pizza Tower. I could talk about Pizza Tower until the fucking sun died, but I actually have talked about it for about 15 minutes already, so if you're somehow unaware of the indie sleeper hit of the year, check out my review, then check out the game, because it's fucking great. I also have a very serious, very intelligent lore analysis video of Pizza Tower's themes, which I highly suggest you watch and take very seriously, because it is not a joke.
In conclusion.
Alright. Of a versatile magic user and explore the bowels of a castle filled with all kinds of threats. Lots of kicking. I like kicking. I like that there are lots of games with kicking here. And finally, number 50 is none other than the frontrunner for Game of the Year 2023 as we know it, you know it,
inside their homes, surrounded by the possessions gathered their whole life. So weak. Those parasites think they're this land.